test race with Cone. We're going to be doing the rest of the Rally X lessons and then a few overtaking ones today. After the Rally X, you pretty much just go into a series of overtaking challenges. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so it looks like we're starting right after the jump there, which is good. That would make it really difficult. Not sure exactly what kind of speed I should be carrying here. Likely more than that. Yeah, that was pretty slow. What was the time that we were going for? I didn't look. 11.6. So yeah, a lot of time to make up there. So let's try again a little bit more steering input. Not so much as to get it completely sideways, because then you lose your bearing. That last cone's going to be the bane of my existence. Pretty good, but I still got some time to make up. Alright. That first set of cones is really not in line like a slalom would be, but that makes it a little easier. Well, it was almost the time, but we still hit a cone. I still hit a cone. You didn't do anything but watch. Yell at me and say you're about to hit that cone. Well, there's the time I need. Just gotta do it clean now. Couldn't have been any closer. Oh man. One thing I noticed is that you have the ABS defaulted as off when you're on the rally courses, which is smart, because if you've ever used a car with ABS and a dirt road or something, it freaks out when you try and hit the brakes. When it comes to rally racing, locking up the brakes is kind of a requirement to get the car to do what you want. You'll see a lot of the rally drivers use a lot of e-brake to get the car to come around. Plenty of time to spare. Alright, so we cleared that one. I think the next one up is going to be the overtaking. Yep, this one's going to be the overtaking lesson. Another one where the collision is going to be an issue, I assume. The car is wide, but it's really wide when you're sideways like you are when you're doing this kind of racing. Alright, let's have at it. Starting side by side like that, like you'll commonly see in rallycross. Unfortunately, I'm not in their row. That does put everybody pretty much in the same group. Not spread out like the other ones. So coming into here. So yeah, that's right, it gets so tight. Did come out in second. That's not too bad off the start. Hear the car really bogging down there. Get down in a second. dirt on the tires. So I'm taking a little bit more of a shallow entry than he was, which kind of got me in trouble down here. So I felt pretty good off the start, but the rest of the track I could use some improvement on. Alright, let's give that another try. I'm pretty sure that inside line is where I want to be. As long as I can do it without hitting them. Washed out big time there. Didn't even get second place. And I hit a car. That was not good. Let's see what we can do here. I almost think it'd be better to stay behind them getting in, but I got this great run down in here. But I got nowhere to go. Pinched off down the bottom. Oh. That's one of the more annoying things out of these is even if they hit you, it still counts as a collision. But I guess that would be a pretty hard thing to determine who hit who. Side of them, but the quick car is right there. Cut offline here. Staying in it though. So as long as I don't make another stupid mistake, this should do it. It's definitely easy to get bogged down, especially when you hit that asphalt. It gets a little bit more grip. Quite a bit of time, but I don't think he's going to get the run he needs. Yep, beat him by 700ths of a second. He was not happy about it. Okay, I think that's going to do it for the rally ones. Next one's going to be back on the asphalt, and it's going to be in the FXO on Fern Bay. Best way I could describe Fern Bay to start with is it's kind of set up as what you would find on a local club track. It's not a GP track. It doesn't have, the fancy curbing, the real good runoff areas. There's guardrails all over the place to hit. It's a fun course though. It's got a lot of high-speed entry, kind of hit your apex, hit your marks kind of track. So as far as the FXO goes, it's a front-wheel drive car. It's 4-seater, 2-door, kind of a heavy little car. It does have a small turbo. I think it only puts out 7 or 8 pounds of boost. Traditional gearbox. It's a road car, street tires. It does have ABS and it will be active here. A car like this, you really gotta. You wouldn't think front-wheel drive car, the back end's gonna come around, but it really wants to off throttle or on that entry. You really gotta use the throttle to get it to straighten itself back out. it stays a little sideways, but it's not like in a rear-wheel drive car where when you do that, if you get on the gas, it's going to get worse. It actually gets better if you get on the gas, which makes it particularly difficult on entry, because you can get it too far out and it's spinning around. And then going out of the turn, too much gas, and it'll push the nose too wide and send you into the dirt. Like that. So I think I'm getting pretty familiar with the car and the track. And the front tires are pretty much done through my antics. F9 will show the yes, they are very hot and pretty warm. So you got to be pretty easy on street tires in a car like this. But let's go ahead and go to our overtaking challenge. So this is one of those tracks where you get a pretty long straight before turn 1, and turn 1's a pretty sharp turn. So you gotta be real careful through there. It's a good place to ruin your race right off the bat. But this is a pretty long track, so you get a lot of opportunity to pass the cars. Got 2 before turn 1. Kind of ruined that run coming out of there, though. This has always been one of my favorite tracks to run, but never one of my more successful tracks. It's very easy to make a mistake here and smack into the wall, and then you're done. Although I had a pretty good indicator there. Although I had a good run there, there's no room to pass somebody there. This is a good passing opportunity, but missed the apex and wasn't close enough. So we are falling behind in the dirt again. And this game does model the dirt on the tires, so it'll take a few turns before you get your grip back once you get in the dirt. Now for this is a 1-lap challenge, so I'm not being too easy on the tires. I'm going to be using them up. You wouldn't want to do this in a regular race. I cannot get in 4th gear for some reason. So 2.5 seconds, I gotta better that. Flat shift off the starter here. We don't need to save the clutch. Which is another one of those rarely modeled things that's in this game, is clutch heat. Can't overheat them and it starts to slip. A lot of those little touches they really put a lot of thought into. Okay, so I think that's going to wrap it up for episode 4 here. Thanks for watching. Again, if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave a comment below.